Scotty, beam me up.
Smash.
Get over here! It is pointless to resist.
All right.
Consent.
All right. So we got a special edition of the Geek then. We got our buddy Derek Mooney here with us from PRF, PRD, one of our frequent contributors to those groups. And he follows us. He's said he's seen every episode of the Geek then. So we're excited to have you here, buddy. What's up?
Just glad to be with you all, man. Like you said, I enjoy the groups and I enjoy watching you all. Just glad to be a part of it.
We appreciate it. Sure.
Resident expert on. I love it. See this dude's wrestlers, man. That's intense.
I do got a bunch of geeky stuff out to show.
All right.
Lots of random stuff.
Yeah.
What do we want to start with?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and
Ending Doom.
get the diabetes situation out of the way, I think.
The diabetes.
That's up to you guys. Do it at the end.
I just want to get it over with.
Not looking at this one more second.
You
No,
should probably get it out of the way now, so you have like 2 hours to get it out of your system, as opposed to like when you're done, then you're just kind of cracked out with nothing to do.
As opposed to like 4 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, we did this.
Might be best to do it now.
All right. So, do we want an official countdown, dudes?
Whatever you want.
Let me know. I'll count you down.
All
Do
right.
it.
Count us off.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Holy shit!
Oh man, that hurts just watching it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh. Oh, holy shit!
Oh.
I don't think I could do it.
I'm done. You can't.
I tap out.
Yep, Matt, you win. You stop.
Are you done?
You win.
Holy, yep. Oh,
Oh,
Over half. Over half.
Matt
I'm
killed
impressed.
us. I almost puked.
keeper.
Oh, fuck.
That's a legend
Yep.
right there. That is a legend.
Proof that Canadians will always win any syrup challenge. Congratulations.
Yeah, dude, I could have
rock that.
vomited just watching that. Not even.
It wasn't too bad.
lying, man.
It wasn't too bad. It was just like the texture after a while. I was like, no, I can't anymore.
It was like
it's
chugging
Jello.
glue. It was like chugging glue.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I could have got that down. Ugh.
I don't feel too
Tasted
bad
like
though. I don't
regret
feel.
and no self-respect.
I'm
It's
alright.
not the taste, it's the consistency. There's just a lot of like thick, viscous stuff happening.
Yeah, and I
That's
feel
what I
like-
mean. It was more of a texture thing. Taste was alright.
I feel like I would feel it in my throat for like the next 4 hours. Like it just wouldn't go
Oh,
away.
dude. Yeah, that's not good. That's not going away anytime soon. No.
And leave any there.
I hope that's not the case.
Matt, which title belt do you want?
All of them.
I like that too.
I was effective shit talking there.
So there's this one. Derek, I'm sure you remember these guys, these old.
Yeah. ICW, Intercontinental, WWF.
This fucking title belt has been in my possession for almost 25 years.
The lamb honky tonk, man. It's not the real one.
It is to me, damn it.
It looks a little small. Looks a little small.
Oh, dude. And then there's this one,
Yeah.
right? I got this when I was 11.
NWO.
I put it on. I'll have to send Craig the picture so he can put it up in the video, but I put it on and No. And it's funny because I'm in a smaller waist now than I was then.
Yeah.
But
So you were 11
That was
then.
husky
What's everyone's age range here?
42.
7.
I'm 33.
39.
I should know better.
Yeah. You win. You're Canadian.
You already
that
won.
Going in.
Already done. You're good. Nothing left to prove.
It hurts. Every part of it. Just holy crap! I hit all at once.
I feel like heartburn would follow too. I feel like heartburn would follow with that for sure.
Well,
I think as long as he doesn't go to bed afterwards, he'll be okay. Like the next morning, heartburn won't be.
Oh, great! He's already doing it.
Cornolio.
Yeah. Oh, it's getting there.
I'm starting to get a little.
Everything's shifting around.
Yeah, flat. All right.
I have to put wedges under the wheels of my chair so the chair doesn't go across the floor.
We can't come back from break. Matt's still on the ceiling.
I don't think I did it faster than they did on Super Troopers, but I only stopped the once.
You were pretty fucking close.
You were pretty close. You were.
I ran out of air in the bottle.
It was pretty quick. It was pretty nonstop.
You were squeezing the bottle. Like,
Yeah,
Squeezing the battle.
I think that was the trick that I wasn't doing. I was just gulping down, hoping for the best.
Your mouth and your throat isn't supposed to be that full of anything.
No.
I don't care.
No.
And I know exactly what I'm saying. Euphemisms and innuendo. I have a whole bunch more respect for people who do that shit for fun. Wow.
Wasn't that what they said on Super Troopers? You gotta relax your
You gotta relax your jaw.
Relax
Yeah.
the jaw.
Quit taking bird sips.
And it's all in the big pouty lips.
and the big lips. It's on the big lips.
It's all in something.
It's all in the ability to take a warm liquid down the throat.
You forgot to go, I am all that is man.
Yeah. Had
I
I
don't feel
won,
like it though. I couldn't convince anybody. I feel like I need to be on the floor in a shower.
All right.
I keep trying to move away from my light bulb being right behind me. I didn't realize it was in such a glary spot. That's a little better.
Looking good, buddy.
Yeah, you're good.
you look like $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going for. So
All right.
mission
Cool.
That
accomplished.
is awesome.
All
Let's close some windows here.
What
All
was
right,
that
so
from
what's
Empire
your
Records?
next?
Sugar High?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Dude, I was trying to play that on guitar the other day. Sugar
Where?
High by the guy's got a weird name. It's Coyote something.
Coyote
That
Shivers.
that's the
Yeah.
Coyote Shivers. But it's a fun song, man. The lyrics are really weird, but it's a fun
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always loved that song, man.
Yeah.
And the singer was so hot. And the chick, what's her name?
Big Zellweger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I always loved that song from that movie, man.
Yeah, that's a good song. That's a great movie overall. But
That
Yeah.
whole soundtrack was really good. Empire Young was Empire Records was a great movie. One of my favorites of all time, man.
it's up there for sure.
Yeah.
Days
The
Confused.
Guar mosh pit scene after eating the brownies.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's definitely. I would say it's in my top 10 easily because I've been watching it since I was a kid.
Definitely, it's up there, man. Just a
Yeah.
fun movie to watch. Like nothing
Yeah.
crazy, about it. It's just a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's,
Mark.
it's what you would expect from a 90s record store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but every time I watch that movie, I get that feeling like, God damn it, I was born in the wrong fucking decade. Because that would have been the primo job for me.
Yeah.
You could talk about fucking music all day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what's better than that? You know what I mean?
Never worked at a record store, but I've worked at a music store before. It is a lot of fun.
That,
It-
I can imagine.
the store here I don't know what it stands for, but the big music store in Canada used to be HMV. And now with all the streaming and stuff, they said, actually, it's kind of turned into a hot topic, but it's not called that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a
Yeah, I feel like a lot of those stores did. Even the ones we had over here in the America, like they kind of became more of selling like memorabilia and random stuff.
Yeah.
FYE and
They
shit.
did CDs and
Yeah.
yeah, T-shirts and action figures and
Yeah.
Crazy
Yeah.
coffee cups and shit like that.
Yep.
Towels.
yeah, just goofy stuff.
Yeah.
And then they originally caught they were one of the first to catch on though, like Funko and everything too. Was like FYE and all them.
Yeah. FYE and
Yeah.
Hot Topic, I believe, were
Yeah.
the first two like major, like if you go to the mall, every mall has those two places. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Those were the first places to really bring that kind of stuff in, as well as like EB Games, which eventually became GameStop here.
Yeah.
It's still EB Games here.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was EB Games here for up until I was about 13, I want to say.
Yeah.
Shit. That's weird.
Yeah,
That's
I remember
why I
when
get
it
all
was
my
EB
good stuff.
Games or just electronic.
Yeah, Electronic
Boutique, I remember that.
Yep.
Electronics Boutique, and then it went to EB Games, and then it went to GameStop.
Crazy.
The
I never
GameStop,
heard of Electronic Boutique.
that's what EB stands for.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's what EB stands for.
I hate acronyms.
But the GameStop here, like in my town, actually closed.
Ah,
Yeah, I think
As far
ours
as I know,
is
the one in the mall did too, but there's
I
a
think ours is
freestanding.
barely hanging on. Yeah. Well, online play now, you know what I mean? Like you can buy any game you want.
Well, not only that, but the stock
And they had a
market.
pretty shitty business model for a long time, anyways, man.
Yeah, they were just an upgraded Radio Shack.
Yeah.
oh,
Well, at least Radio Shack, I mean, they were kind of different. I mean, their whole GameStop's whole thing was based on you buying something for $60, selling it back for them for $2, and someone else buying it for 40. I mean, it was
Yep.
not necessarily sustainable for a long term.
Yeah.
No.
and with
They're recycling their own goods.
even when you can get it for cheaper online, and someone will deliver like a physical hard copy, where you're still paying probably $10 more on a storefront, and you can get it on Amazon, or if you find a sucker on Marketplace or whatever like that. That you're absolutely right. It only works if everybody's stupid.
Well, yeah, we're even more so from the buying perspective. Most people, especially once eBay became around and became big, why would you sell back to GameStop for $4 when you can sell it yourself on Facebook or eBay for $40?
Yeah, and get cash, not in-store credit.
Right.
You sell me these 80 games for 45 cents, and it's in-store only. Oh, awesome. I'm selling you your shit back because I don't have anything to buy here.
Cash was even smaller fraction of the already small fraction of the value they were giving you. If you want to cash out, it's like, why even bother? Like, it wasn't worth the gas to drive it there.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I never
End up owing them money.
credit for that shit. Like,
Yeah.
I sold a bunch of movies off to FYE one time, and they were like, "Do you want this for cash or in-store credit?" I was like, "Cash," because I don't ever fucking come up here.
Don't plan on coming
Yeah.
back.
Fucking sell
I'm
what I
never at
want.
the mall anymore. Like, I'm always at work, so cash, please. I need cash. I wasted it coming here.
And as much as, like, dude, I'm a big collector of physical media or physical anything, but especially with video games, like and being on disc based, especially, like, I stopped buying almost anything physical unless it was like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Because I'm digital, it's in my library, I have it forever. I can share it with my son on his Xbox, and from someone who's had like a crap ton of video games, like they take up a lot of space. Like I at one point owned like 550 Nintendo games alone, and I mean that was like an entire wall of my room. So once I had kids, like I started dwindling all that down, but it took up a ton of space. Like I owned a few thousand minimum video games at one point, and I mean there was just a lot of space. You really have to have like a dedicated to everything.
Yeah, you run a retro gaming group on Facebook, don't you?
Yeah, I run one called Trade Sell. Some people call it the game with the gaming page with a long name, but Trade Sell Collect Retro and New Video Games and Toys, called T-Scran for short. This is actually see if I can show it here. A T-Scran T-shirt we have. These were back from 2014 or 15.
Nice.
We've been around for quite a while. We're the I don't know if we still are. I really don't check anymore, but we're probably still way up there. But the largest retro buy and sell group on Facebook, very busy. We had a lot of action. We still do. Still got a pretty solid fan base, probably like 16,000 members or something. But it was definitely like a very active group of people. Like, I mean, we all went to conventions together. I've met people from all over the states. I was a buddy of mine in Connecticut who I met through there. I ended up staying with him when I went to a convention. And fast forward 6 years, I was a groomsman in his wedding. We see each other every couple times a year and hang out. And just met a lot of good friends on there. So it became like a little just people building up their collections. I met a lot of like lifelong friends on there, which was cool. Kind of like on Punk Rock Dad, similar community, just have some interest and, you kind of spitball from there. Yeah. Plus, you get to play video games. It's a win-win.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
That's when games became games. Like, it was the jump from Coleco and Atari to, holy fuck, have you seen the graphics on 8-bit Nintendo Entertainment System? It's mind-blowing.
Yeah. So I'd say I still love my NES, but between NES and Super Nintendo are probably still my most played systems out of my Xbox. Like, I really just enjoy that 16-bit era. I still want to. The games were they weren't as easy as they are now. Not all games are easy now, don't get me wrong, but like games are more linear. There's more walkthrough, where before, especially if you rented a game, you didn't even have a manual. It's like, here you go, figure it out. Nothing to tell you what to do. You just got to jump in and die a million times. Do you figure out how not to die? Like that.
Those games sucked. If you didn't come with a book, you're like, well, how the fuck do I even move?
Yeah.
That stupid skate and surf game.
TNC skate and surf.
That's the one. Fuck that gorilla.
I love that game, man. That game was a blast.
He can't surf worth a shit. I think I made it to the end of a run one time on that game. The rest of the time, just burn. I'm horrible at it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you would pick up a skating game now, you'd at least make it a few levels before you fail. Yeah. Like, there, it's like immediately, like, you freaking suck at this. You've only been playing 5 minutes, but we want to let you right now. You're always going to be horrible at this. Just give up. You do not have the aptitude for this.
The gorilla comes up on the screen. You suck, Matt.
Now that you bring that up, that's how games used to end when you died. Like, it would just come up and mock you. You're like, start over.
That fucking dog.
Yeah. Or nothing.
You always wish you had more fucking ammo to shoot.
Just got nothing. Like, it just went straight to the start over screen again. Like, just right back to the title screen. That's it. We're not even going to give you a screw you. We're just going to pretend this never even happened.
It's not even going to tell you how you died. You suck.
No. What you did wrong. No chance to look back. No chance to reflect on your actions. It's just done. And that sucks. When you put 3-4 hours into some of those games and no continues, no nothing. Like, me and my brothers broke so many controllers just throwing those things against the walls. Yeah. Sega Genesis probably broke the most. I feel like they were the cheapest controller. They broke so easy. Like, just couple tosses, those things were done for.
It was one of those games where every time you hit a landmark level, it would kick up a continue code. And if you ever wrote it down wrong, you'd never get back, ever.
Yeah.
You don't know where you made your mistake, and they're like 85 letters and numbers and symbols and shit. And you make it to Mike Tyson. You know, well, how the fuck? What letter did I get wrong? Or Bubble Bobble, or any of those old crazy games that had just those big long continue codes.
So Mega Man 3, when Mega Man 3 came out, they had a probably the best password system at the time. It was like a 6x6 grid, like with A through E and then 1 through 6 down at the bottom, and you just had to like write A1, and then you would put a dot in like 8 different spaces there. Like, that was much easier because you could write down like A1, B5, C3. Like, it was very hard to screw up. That was probably like a game changer when it came to passwords at that point in time. Plus, you could sit there and just try to guess your own because they weren't as long combinations. You're like, oh, let me just sit here and screw around and see what happens. But that was definitely easier than the 32-digit, some uppercase, some lowercase, some ones, some zeros. Yeah, that was a game changer for me for passwords. I probably still got those written down somewhere.
Yeah.
Was Mega Man 3 the first appearance of the Rush?
Yeah.
His dog?
Mega Man 3 was the first appearance of Rush.
The first time I played that, I had the benefit of a Game Genie. You want to talk about game changers? I never ever wrote continue code down ever again. It's like unlimited life or don't die from falling or super jump. It's like, it's all over. I know that was the only way I could finish Mario 2.
So, on Mega Man 3, if you had the second controller plugged in, which it was not a 2-player, but if you had the second controller plugged in and you held down the left direction, you could fall down pits without dying and have super jump unlimited. So like if you had a rubber band, you could just wrap around that. Like you could pretty much go through the game as much as you wanted. You could fall down, and there was a way you could fall down a pit at a certain time of dying to where you could just roll through the game and like take no damage. So that was pretty cool because you could play through that kind of like you were saying without even a Game Genie, just roll through with super jump, basically unlimited life.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I love Game Genie. When you could start cheating at games, I loved it. Even now, I play Baldur's Gate, and it's like change the INI file. Now all your stats are 25, your hit points are 1,000,000, you have all the best weapons. Okay, let's see how fucking everybody stacks up against this.
Right. Game Genie was definitely a game changer. That was pretty cool. I mean, that was you were cheating, but you were legitimately cheating at the same time. I mean, you're like, I've got a book of codes for this. Like, how made up is it? I mean, this is pretty legit.
The fun fact about Game Genie, it was not Nintendo licensed. That was all Bad News Bears. If you bought it, it was essentially black market.
Yeah.
Or like
none
like
of them
fake
were
shit.
actually until Place One and the Game Shark came out. Like none of them were really officially licensed. Like any of this stuff, that was all just kind of booted around. But it didn't necessarily proprietary any hardware that they could like stop them selling it from, like Nintendo did with Namco and then back in the day when they were making like the black box games and stuff like that. Or not the black box, but the black was it Namco or Tencent? One of the two. But yeah, the ones that just didn't look like regular NES cards, they had those cool, but they could never do that with the Game Genie.
Those would be like the 101, right? The ones you're talking about, where they'd make a cartridge and have like 6,000 games on it.
Oh yeah. There's some really famous of those, like the one and 101 or something. Some of those are worth like 2,000, 2,500. Like they're like literally worth thousands of dollars. Some of the original bootlegs of those, and some of them. Tengen, that's the brand I was thinking of. Tengen had the most of those out there, and there was a couple other ones, but Tengen was the biggest maker. Like even it's almost the same exact. You know, we all played Tetris, and mainly on the Game Boy, but they had the gray card. Like the Tengen black card of Tetris is worth like I don't know, probably $100 right now for whatever reason. Where regular Tetris is worth like $2, just because it was pulled off the market at one point.
Yeah.
Shit. Damn, that was a fun game. I like Tetris too.
Yep.
For as simple as
I still have Tetris for Game Boy, and my kids still play in the car on car rides, or I'll play laying in bed. Like it's just a time waster, man. It doesn't take a lot of thought. It's just fun to do. It's fun to win at, fun to lose at.
When the Game Boy first came out, my whole family used to play Tetris, and it turned into like a running competition to see who could get the best score. And for a long time, my mom kicked everybody's ass. It was not even close.
Oh, my mom loved it. My mom would always have my Game Boy somewhere. Like, legitimately. Like, and you'd all be like gathered around the couch watching one person on a 6-inch little monochrome green and white screen. Can you imagine that now? Like, my kids would be like, what are you, like, no one's going to sit around and watch me play. And even if they enjoy playing on the car rides, like, the whole family's not gathered around to see how I'm doing. Like, that's what happened.
They're all looking at their fucking phones.
Right. They're like, I've got better graphics over here.
That phone's from 2004. Yeah, I know. It's still better graphics.
Yeah, got Snake on it too.
Yeah, and I don't have to plug it in every 10 fucking minutes.
Yeah, Game Boys ate some batteries, man. Then there was the Game Gear. What did that thing take? Like 8 batteries, like 8 AA's.
Yep.
That thing was definitely had the color display and everything. It took handhelds up a step, but it was so heavy, so big, and like battery. You got like 30 minutes of gameplay out of 8 AA batteries.
The big feature on there was they had a cartridge you can put in to pick up television stations.
Yeah.
But when you had a Game Gear up here, there's no fucking television stations broadcasting on those frequencies. You're just getting static, so you bought this extension for fucking no reason at all.
Yeah, that was probably the majority of the world, to be honest. Unless you live in a big city, like, you probably weren't getting squat out of that. But
Yeah. Yep.
just wasn't that.
You need an antenna just to get regular TV, never mind special TV.
Yeah, that's where we are. We barely ever had cable growing up, and that was always my dad would have some sort of antennas rigged up all throughout the house to try to get just PBS or whatever was going on. We barely had cable, especially being a young kid. I don't recall, but my dad was he was very into electronics, and he was an electrician in the Navy, and he would just have it was into CBs and stuff too. So there's always like these giant like antennas with like 3 things sticking out the side of them outside of our house for his like shortwave radio and stuff. He's like, who needs cable? I got this.
Who needs cable?
Yeah. We got enough antennas. We can make this work.
We need to make glass. We got you.
Got the lightning rods. It really did look like we had lightning rods on top of our house. Yeah, there's things everywhere.
So, why don't we take a short break here?
Yep.
But before we do, I got a trivia question. And since we're talking about video games right now, it's a video game question. What 1980s video game star returned in 1999 with pals Diddy, Tiny, Chunky, and Lanky?
I know it.
You know it?
Yep.
Derek?
I'm pretty solid on this one.
What do you think?
Donkey Kong?
That's what I said.
Yep.
Yep.
Diddy Kong.
I don't remember some of the later names you ripped off,
Yeah.
but you had me a Diddy
Yeah, Diddy,
Kong or
Yep.
Horatio, Guadalupe. No, I don't remember that.
yeah, Guadalupe Kong. He was one of my favorites.
Spyro, how the hell
Kong.
did he get in there?
Worst gorilla ever.
But
All right.
we'll be right
Be
back.
right back.
You bet.
Imagine this!
Deep in the jungle, you discover at the Cobra Terradrome with gun emplacements almost everywhere and special base for refueling vehicles.
There it is!
The Cobra Terradrome is really incredible.
That's Dr. Mindbender! And now look, they've captured Flynn!
It's time to warn the Joes, but suddenly they launch the Firebat. Live the adventure of G.I. Joe. Cobra Terradrome comes with Firebat and pilot, other figures and equipment sold separately.
Yo, Joe!
From Haley's Comet Cone, the Parasites.
They hide in cars and trucks.
We'll hide here. Nemesyte, the Hunter. You can't hide from him.
I feel like we're being watched.
Terrasite, the Parasite Spy, watches your every move.
Well, I'm not afraid.
Destructite unfolds to unleash destruction.
Hey, guys?
Parasites from Matchbox. Can you collect them before they collect you?
All right. And we're back. It's show and tell time. Joe has joined us. So.
Yeah, for a minute. I'm still on the clock.
For as long
It's
as
the
you
best time to record, man. Get paid for it.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I might as well.
So Derek, you said you got some stuff for us. Wrestling figures, Star Trek stuff.
Yeah, man. So I don't even know where to start. I've got so much crap. Let me see if I can get like y'all a shot of what I've got going on here. Like if you look at my this camera sucks, but I've got like so much stuff over here on my bed that's ridiculous. So let me see. I'm gonna get the wrestling figures out here. Some of the LGNs I've got sitting out just because I know Matthew wants to see them there.
Yeah. My nerd boner gets big. These are my favorite.
I've shared some with Matthew in the past. I think I was just telling James about it the other night. But at one point, man, I scored like 4 or 5 trash bags full of these things for like $20. The lady looked like a hoarder, like judging by the car when I picked her up. Like one of those station wagons from like 1980 where there's just like piles of papers like everywhere. And she wanted, it was on Facebook Marketplace and it popped up. I'm like, this can't be real. Like, because even then, no one would sell that much of anything for $20. It may still have some value. I sold most of them. I do on the side. I buy and sell video games and toys. That's how I come across a lot of this stuff, and I just kind of hang on to the pieces that I find really cool or unique. Star Trek stuff, I keep most of everything. I did kind of wean down to the original series at a point because even now, like I have so much Star Trek stuff, it would be impossible to even like show it all in one show. But as far as some LGNs here, let's see what we got. We got all kinds of cool stuff, man. We got some Hogan, which is one of the most popular, of course.
Yeah.
Never had him, but that was a good one.
The brother.
So
I got his belt in here too.
Hey, Derek, you're from Maryland,
Yeah.
is that right?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Sorry. Are you happy to be joining us here on a Tuesday?
What's that?
Are you happy to be joining us here on a Tuesday?
I mean, sure.
That's the accent thing. There's a comedian. Never mind.
It'll be a cool day before I recognize Missouri.
Never mind.
Yeah, I missed the mark on that one.
Must be a regional thing.
We got who knows?
Edit that out,
Freddie
Craig.
Blassie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Classy Freddy.
He came with the microphone too.
Yeah. No, he had a cane. He did not have the
Cane.
microphone. He had the cane. Let's see who else we got. With the hot pink pants.
Jesse.
I always loved his choice.
Yeah, with the
Of
hot pink pants.
even in that era, the hot pink pants of the 80s there. That's pretty solid.
The man who
Better
came up
boa.
with the name Mean Gene. Hulk Hogan etched it in granite, but Jesse the Body came up with it.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Captain Lou.
That's me.
He was one of the coolest of all. I don't know why. I loved all the rubber bands in his beard. He was just weird.
Yeah.
He was interesting. Like he was a cool dude, man. Just
Yeah, it was pretty punk rock.
did the videos with Cyndi Lauper for the.
Yeah.
He was punk rock for sure. Captain Lou Albano. My God.
Some more bright pink. We got
The Brutus.
Brutus.
They loved the hot pink in the 80s, man. That was like a solid deal. You could not go wrong with hot pink.
Not neon was a hallmark of the '80s for sure.
Walking.
Oh, I had some hot pink board shorts when I was like 7 or 8 years old. So yeah, it was,
I'm sure I had lots of neon board shorts back in the day.
oh, dude, neon green, neon pink, you name it. Black and yellow, fucking body glove, fucking board shorts. Jesus Christ.
These aren't LGN. These are Remco's. If you all remember those, they were a
Yep.
shorter run of figures. But the
Yeah.
talking animal. These are harder bodies. The arms are a little more plasticky than the body. The heads are the squishy plastic that was popular, but they're harder. They actually had like cloth pants and different belts and accessories. Definitely wasn't as many of those, but they were pretty solid run, and they're pretty collectible for sure. Outback Jack.
Outback Jack.
Oh, here we go. With the hair ingrained on the plastic.
George.
I'm not sure why his tongue's blue. I don't know why they
tongue
made
was
that
always
on the
blue.
figure.
He always had the blue tongue.
Yeah.
Just kind of, but it looks weird on the figure. I mean, I get it, Georgiano, but I don't. Just kind of looks like I don't know. Something.
Wasn't he the dude that
coming out
used
of
to
his
eat
mouth
the
or
fucking
something.
turnbuckle covers?
Yeah.
That's George Animal Steel, yep.
Yeah.
You'd eat the turnbuckle at the
What else we got? Ricky the Dragon.
Oh,
Ooh.
I know he was very popular. He was never my favorite. He was kind of too plain for me. Like I always liked the character wrestlers, like Ricky the Dragon. I mean, he did have his times where he had the big capes and stuff, but he was kind of too plain for me to be one of my favorites. And I think especially as I started watching in the late 80s and early 90s, he was almost more of a jobber at that point. Like he got older a little quicker than some of the rest of them did.
He was one of the few wrestlers to never switch heel.
Yeah.
He was always a baby.
Yeah, I think that's probably why he went jobber so quick. Like he just kind of didn't hang on.
Well, that and he got hurt in the mid '90s,
Yeah.
like against Steve Austin.
Yeah, he was like right up there with Virgil in the WWF when I was watching. He was like an opener card or mid card at best. Like he was no longer doing anything.
He had a bit of a comeback in the early '90s in WCW, but he got hurt in like '93, '94, and had to retire. So,
well, and there were people doing that gimmick better than him anyway. Like in WCW, the Great Muta fucking crushed that gimmick.
Fuck yeah.
With the hat.
Nikolai Volkov. The hat comes off. It's awesome. I love
The
that.
fun thing about these guys, man, is the hats and belts are usually worth more than any of the figures are.
Yeah.
The hats, belts, like Roddy's kilt, like all that stuff was worth more than the figures are because that's all the stuff you lost in like a day or two of collecting. Like it's out back in your yard somewhere after a day or two of playing Royal Rumble with them.
Right.
I had, this is not LJN, this was a couple years after, another Hogan with belts. I had, which one was it? It was 20-inch Hogan. I sold not that long ago, man. It was like $300. Just a Hogan with a belt.
Shit.
Not
Big John Studd.
Not hack. Big John Studd, thank you. I wanted to say Haystack Calhoun, but I knew there wasn't.
No.
That's most of the LGNs I have anymore. I pulled
down a couple of my figures here.
Go ahead. I'm gonna pull out a couple more.
These are original San Francisco toy makers Sting figures from the late '90s. You got the black and white guy, the Crow Sting after he came back against the NWO, and then we got the Wolfpack Sting. My favorite paint job of his, I think. I just like red and black together.
You're gonna sit there and tell me the Wolfpack Sting is cooler than fucking Crow's Face Sting? You are out of your damn mind.
Cooler looking to me, Joe. To me,
Out,
I like
out your damn mind.
You've known this for how long?
The babyface Sting makeup was way better in my opinion. I like the neon, and the crazy lightning bolts and shit.
Yeah, I will always love the original Sting. Like,
oh yeah, the surfer gimmick.
Yeah, with the box cut.
Yeah, with the box cut and like the
Always
Total
get
Warrior
fucked by Ric
ripoff,
Flair.
kind of like, yeah.
Yep.
Oh Jesus! Fuck.
The Warrior with short hair.
He was Warrior with short hair.
Here's some Hasbros I've got. Y'all remember the smaller Hasbro ones that came out? These were one of my favorite tag teams of all time. I loved them when they came out, man. They were just so goofy.
Yeah.
Them and the Steiner brothers were like up there of all my favorite time to watch. But these figures were cool because they came with like the actions, like they would actually do stuff. And these ones are all still very minty. These are some of the ones I've held on to, but they were all a little cooler because you could actually do stuff with them. Where the rubber ones, as cool as they were at the time, they kind of wore down later because all they did was stand there.
Yeah.
Boss man with the chop.
You got the nightstick and everything. That's awesome.
Got Brutus with the scissors, the shears.
Yeah. The shears.
And then Jake the Snake over here. These are some of my favorite. I like these little guys. Plus, they're more displayable to like sit on top of something as opposed to the LGNs, which don't barely stand up at all. They kind of
so heavy.
Did that Jake the Snake figure come with the snake?
He did come with the snake. Yeah, I don't have that.
Well,
These were actually,
everybody loses that.
I have about 30 of these at the Goodwill. They were all mint. It was like $5 for both bags of like 15 each. Those were the ones I kept out of it. Yeah, they were so super minty and everything still worked on them. Usually you find them, the limbs are loose, the arms are hanging down.
Yeah.
What's that?
They were just loose in a bag.
Yeah, loose in a bag. They had split into two separate bags. I was there literally as a lady was hanging on a peg, and I grabbed those like right. I was actually shopping for a monitor for my son for Christmas. I'm like, yeah, let me get those real quick before those even hit the shelf. Those are definitely worth more than you're putting on them there.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. Hey, fellas, I got to tap out.
All right, Joseph.
All right, Joey. It's good to see you, buddy.
Good talking.
Nice to meet you, Derek. Fucking, that's an awesome collection you got, brother.
Thanks, brother.
All right,
Bye-bye.
you guys.
So we're going a little bit out of the way of wrestling, but these are some of my favorite figures of all time here. Which one, two of them are copy, but it's the Apollo Creed and Clubber Lang from Rocky.
Oh shit!
They got two of the Clubber Lang. Rocky's quite expensive. I still plan on getting one, but to find these with the shorts and both these gloves are removable. To find them with shorts and gloves is like extremely hard to do.
Yeah.
Those gloves will sell for like $50 a pair, just themselves without a figure.
Holy fuck!
But Rocky's one of my favorite series of all time, so these were definitely one of my favorite scores of all time. Finding these guys, man.
Absolutely,
it's insane. I didn't even know they made Rocky figures.
Not like that
at all.
No, I
know
knew
in the
they
'90s. There's those were made when they came out. There was
they were almost like Barbie
movie
dolls.
they made them off of. Necco came out with some in the 2000s. They had a cool set, and it was cool because it's considered one of the weirdest action figures of all time. But you can actually buy it's in the box like all the other Rocky figures, but it's a side of beef. Like he was hanging up, beaten up in the meat locker in Rocky 1. And that's what it's called, a side of beef. But you bought it like it's just on a hang tab in a card like all the other action figures, man. That was pretty cool.
That's nuts. It's funny as shit.
Let's go into how many of y'all Star Trek fans? Like, I know it's definitely not as cool as Star Wars, but I know there's some fans out there. You are?
Yeah. I am. I'll show you what I got. It's the only thing I have too.
Once he finds it.
The official trading cards.
Okay.
But it's sealed.
Is it a complete set?
Oh wait, I do have something.
I've never opened it.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, now Craig's got something. Oh man, it's always a good time.
I think I showed you this in one of the group chats we were in, Derek, but this is just good for a laugh.
Star Trek Turtle.
It's the only $100 bill I'll ever save.
Oh, there you go. Yep. I saw that. I remember the Star Trek Turtles when they came out.
Yeah.
Man, I had some of those. I also have upstairs a box of Star Trek Mr. Potato Heads. There's like a whole line of them. The full size ones. Those were pretty cool. I found those at like some bargain buyout random store for like $1 a piece, still in box. I was like, heck yeah, I'm buying that.
Fuck yeah.
Let's see. I got this is one of my favorite pieces. This is one of those old 70s tray tables.
Oh wow.
My brother bought this for me for my birthday one year off eBay. It's Spock was my favorite character of all time. Still is, man. This is 1976, I want to say, and I still use it as a tray table for real all the time. If we dinner watching with him.
That thing's in great condition. I had a Turtles one. That thing, it doesn't look anything like that.
Yeah.
Like the picture done worn off and everything. It's a shame.
We got some figures from the original motion picture here. That's kind of hard to see with this camera. That would be McCoy in the doctor's outfit.
Oh shit!
We got Spock there, and these are like little bit smaller than even the GI Joe. It's a 6-inch figures there. And Kirk. I don't think his face looks anything like Kirk, and I know it's hard to see here with the glare.
That looks like Steve.
It's got bigger eyebrows than me.
I really don't think it looks anything like Kirk.
It looks like
if you remember from the original picture, that's Leah. She was not a very popular figurine. She's one of the easiest ones to find, still on card, unopened, just because it wasn't bought out.
Yeah.
Pretty cool though.
But like I said, I used to have, I don't even know how many Star Trek figures, and I had to whittle it down to what I really wanted to have in my house because I just got so much of it.
Right.
These are some of my favorite. These were 1996, I think. It's the Transporter series. The bottom half of it is like translucent.
Nice.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
Makes the transporter noises and lights up.
That's awesome.
Quite a few of those. I've got 4 or 5 of them. McCoy, Chekhov, Montgomery Scott. I took these out of storage and I was so surprised they still lit up because you know when you buy them, they have like the little plastic tab between the battery and everything.
Yeah.
Of course, I took that out once I got them because I'm all about playing with my toys. I'm like, I want to see these things light up and hear noise. I don't want to
I am not about to open my toys, but
No.
I like watching other people do it.
No, I opened up my Ash figure the other day just to get under his skin.
I made a
gives me a
video
stroke.
the other night for the video where I opened Star Trek for Atari 2800. I've had it for a long time. It's a brand new one open, but I don't. It's to me, I like opening that stuff too, man. It's I enjoy just seeing what's inside, smelling that old smell of whatever's in there.
Yeah,
That's true.
I
Seeing
have
the
some stuff I'll never
advertisement
open.
cards.
Like some stuff I'll never open for sure, but some stuff.
And sometimes it depends on the value. Like, I mean, I can probably buy that unopened on eBay for $2,500 or $25. Atari games aren't that much if I really wanted another unopened copy. Then for me, the experience was definitely worth it to open it.
Yeah.
And I enjoy looking at all the old advertisement cards and stuff in there. Just kind of a little time capsule piece that literally has been unopened for 50, 60, 70 years. To me, that's cool.
You can tell that something's changed in action figures because now that you brought up the smell, that was the one thing I remember the most. G.I. Joe, He-Man, Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
You open it up and it had that fresh, melted plastic smell.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was, and it would just hit you like a train.
Yeah.
It's probably a chemical that was really horrible for you, but we loved as kids.
Lead paint.
That's why we
probably
are
did away for that for safety purposes, but it's probably why we're the way we are now. all the action figure huffing we did back in the day.
Well, no, I just traded.
Got a lot of other random guys, man. Harry Mudd, he was a goofy character from the first one. I'm not gonna bore you with every figure because, dude, I've got a lot. But I like the obscure ones. Janice Rand, she was a nurse on the original series for a short-lived time. I've got so many Spocks over here. Commander Krug from the third movie.
Wow.
One of the first Klingons. Yep.
Awesome shit.
Dude, these aren't action figures, but anyone seen one of these before? For a video disc?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disc, yeah.
Fuck.
So these were before laser disc, after record players, before. Let's see if I can crack it open here.
Matt, don't.
I believe you.
So the players for these things were humongous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome that you're doing it, but dang.
Because, I mean, there's literally a record-sized disc in there. That's what played. It's literally before Laserdisc, but it's like an entire record in there. They're meant to play just put in like this.
What is it? Does it play like a CD with the laser and everything, or what? Like, how does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was like a
plays
big
like
box.
a CD with the laser, but way before it. I can't even remember what and obviously the movie had to be on 2 discs. That's how old it is. So this is 79. The players are hard as heck to find. Like, it's next to impossible to find a working player for them. It's pretty hard to find the discs themselves, but yeah, that's a very cool piece I have. I also, in every movie on every Star Trek movie on Laserdisc as well.
Wow.
Those are hard to find too.
Yeah.
Not as hard, but they are hard.
It's a sealed
VHS?
Betamax.
Oh, Betamax.
No, that's not even VHS. That's Betamax.
My God.
Steve, tell this guy who won.
On the Geek Den. I think that's our first Betamax and our first video disc.
Yeah.
My family had a Betamax.
I love the random stuff, man.
Holy fuck.
It was the first time we ever saw Controller.
They just didn't last long either. And I think Video quality, I believe they were touted to be better than VHS. I think it was just the marketing behind it. Most likely, you had two similar items. Whoever marketed better was going to win that war.
Let's just say Blu-ray and HDVD.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say because why? Like Blu-ray, number one, the packaging just looks nicer.
Yeah.
Number two, like there's really no difference in quality, and Blu-rays are cheaper.
And they're more versatile. The way they do video games is closer to Blu-ray than HD DVD. So
yeah, you couldn't play your HD DVDs without a specific type of player.
Yeah.
Blu-rays, you don't necessarily need a Blu-ray player. If you have a PlayStation 3, 4, or 5, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, HD DVD was definitely a fail. It's even Microsoft tried to push it, but you had to buy like a second piece for your Xbox 360 to play the DVDs.
Yeah.
They couldn't even make it to where you could like play it in there. You had to buy an HD DVD drive. Those were probably one of the shortest lived medias, man. They did not hang around very long at all.
Like I remember seeing them for maybe a year. And
maybe a year or two.
That's being generous.
They were bargain bin fodder very quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
For sure. But
here we got Viewmaster in the box.
Oh shit.
Mr. Spock's time trek on Viewmaster.
Like one of those Mattel things with the wheel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yep.
Fell out.
And they all fell out. Yeah, there's little discs there.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
But these were the talking Viewmaster, so the discs are a little different. They got more to them.
Mm-hmm.
Talking Viewmaster was a little different.
Oh shit!
Talking Viewmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy collecting the niche stuff. I mean, I like the action figures and everything, but just the
I never heard of
stuff,
a talking Viewmaster.
Just weren't cool enough, man. I don't know.
Obviously. Like I had a Viewmaster.
I never did either. I never had one as a kid. I'll tell you that.
Not a talking one.
But
a talking one.
Never in my life.
That's one of the
going
regular
back
ones.
to talking about like electronic boutiques. Remember KB Toys and like EB and them used to have when like the Super Nintendo era. They would have the things would be like video games ad, but almost like card catalog for them. Like you'd flip through them and it'd be different. They have a bunch of those. So they had the picture on one side, then you'd flip to the other side, and you would see tell you about be almost like the front of the box and the back of the box.
Shit.
I took that one out of the frame, but I got a bunch of those framed for a bunch of different Star Trek games.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh shit.
Sweet.
Yeah, they're another super collectible piece in the video game world.
Yeah.
I like anything that touches on retro video games and Star Trek. It's like a double win for my collection. Like it's something I get to show off in both eras.
I haven't played a good Star Trek game in a long time.
There's a lot of bad ones, man. There's about 200 some Star Trek games altogether. For PC, there's a ton of them. I posted in the Comic Book Nerds the other day. I bought like 8 or 9 Star Trek big box games, the PC games that came in huge boxes. They just pumped them out there for a while. To me, my favorite Star Trek game is still 25th anniversary for NES. It's kind of like a little action RPG. That was probably still my favorite one. I've had a hard time finding one that's super great. I mean, there's some that are playable, but it's definitely one of those. They did not have the best game making, but that didn't stop them from pumping them out one after another still to this day.
Well, they just had people throwing a Star Trek suit on a different kind of game design, and then it never had the Star Trek feel to it, in my opinion. The only thing that's come close, other than the one that you mentioned for NES, is the MMO on Sony right now. I think you can get it on PlayStation 4 and 5. It's close. It's not... It's a very World of Warcraft, Neverwinter Nights kind of thing, but it's better than a lot of those old just fly and shoot ones.
Yeah. I had a hard time delving into that. It's on Xbox too, and I downloaded it. It's just, it didn't seem very intuitive like a lot of games. Like, I think I tried it for a little bit and kind of got confused. But, I don't come back to it and just haven't.
Well, that's one of the ones that it depends on the microtransactions, and I don't like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I'm not too into that.
Just buy the game.
I like to buy a game and be done with it.
Exactly. Oh, why don't you buy a skin that doesn't help you in the game at all and costs you $25?
I don't understand that. That's
No.
all little kids. That's marketing to kids, man. That's literally.
It's so greasy too.
Let's see. We got.
Drinking that coffee's hard.
Star Trek lunchbox here.
That's
Oh,
fun.
That's
nice.
Next Generation.
What was your favorite one, Derek?
What was my favorite what?
What was your favorite Star Trek?
Original series, and then
Sure.
followed by, then it's in order basically. Original series, Next Generation, and Deep Space Nine, and I'm kind of okay with all the rest of them. I really liked the reboot too. I thought those were good.
Nice.
But I just like
was
the
Enterprise.
the stoicism of Spock. I don't know. I really liked just the interactions between Spock, McCoy, and Kirk. You know, Kirk's actor gets a lot of gaff, but he really is a funny dude. I went and saw him with my mom last year. I took her for Christmas. They did a screening of Star Trek Search for Spock in the theater, and then Captain Kirk was out there answering questions and just telling stories about being on the set. Man, he talked for like 2.5 hours, and he's freaking hilarious. Like, he really is a character, man.
Yeah, he is.
He had the whole place cracking up. Some of the stories he has about the pranks they would all play each other on each other in the studios and stuff, man. Like, you really just felt like you had a cool inside glimpse of that stuff. And to see it on the big screen was cool. Seeing Search for Spock in theaters was cool.
Right. Now, does your Star Trek lunchbox have the matching thermos?
Yeah.
Nice. I like, to me, no lunchbox.
And some other random stuff I keep in there. I keep this stuff in there. This one was weird. It's got a whole bunch of Ninja Turtle stickers somebody put in there throughout the years.
I remember
And I
those.
like it. Like, a lot of
I
people
remember
take
those.
that stuff off those things. I find them super interesting and leave them on there, man.
It tells you.
Magic thermos there.
Awesome. That's awesome. I remember always getting to pick a new lunchbox before school, and I always had to look at the thermos, because if the thermos didn't look cool, I didn't want it.
Yeah.
I was a
Here's
brat.
my favorite lunchbox by far, man.
Pac-Man. Awesome. And it's
This
the
is
old
it's mint condition, literally. Tag's still on it.
thermos even. My God.
As well as advertisements and warnings in the thermos.
Wow.
Like, it's so minty. This is the original 1980s, even though it looks like it's brand new. Like, it is
Yeah.
so
That's crazy.
I'm not even sure how I found one this fresh, but yeah, it's cool designs on both sides of it there. That's definitely one
Yeah.
of my favorite
That's awesome.
pieces of any collection. Super Mario Zelda combo.
Oh, that's
This was the
awesome.
same time, if you remember, they had the Super Mario Zelda television show and the
And
cereal
cereal.
that
Yep.
had one bag of like Zelda cereal on
Yep.
one side, one Mario cereal on the other
Yep.
side.
Nintendo
That was
cereal
from
was the
that
shit.
era.
Awesome.
It probably tasted pretty crappy, but I think it all tasted like generic Captain Crunch in my
Yep.
opinion. But we loved it as a kid. So.
Yep.
I still love it today. What are you talking about?
Yep.
Fucking generic Captain Crunch. That's my shit.
Got some eclectic, I should say, lunchboxes. Smurfette's one of my favorites. I'm not even
Smurfette.
sure why. It's just because everyone sees all my collection and it's all video games and this, and it's like Snoopy
And then
and
you just
some
got
more guy
Smurfette.
stuff, and they see Smurfette in the pink lunchbox.
It's like, what the fuck? My God, that's funny. That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I had a Simpsons lunchbox when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was just a.
Yeah, Simpsons.
I just remember
Would be
Bart.
dope.
being on the
I'm sure they had
thermos.
quite a few lunchboxes.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't remember
Quite a
exactly
few.
what was on it, but I just remember Bart was on the thermos and that sold me on it because Bart was my favorite character.
Mm.
I mean, of course, Bart was.
These marble action figures here, I bought these guys out. These are one of my favorite ones to keep in boxes because they're so ridiculous. There's nothing cool about them. It's like a Wolverine set from probably mid-90s. But if you look, and also, I don't know how good the camera's going to get there, but like Wolverine's face is so
Oh
ridiculous.
my god.
And then the Weapon X Wolverine is even worse. Let me try to get his face in there. Like he looks like he's just taking a massive dump. And it's all loaded with all kinds of weapons and guns. And I'm like, when has Wolverine ever used a weapon or gun or looked like that? So it's just one of those random box sets that I bought just because it was more laughable than anything else. Like it's the most he's even got like a sword sickle thing to hold. I'm like, dude, he's got claws. Why is he carrying a sickle on top of that?
For fuck's sake. Oh my god.
These guys here, these are some of my favorite collector's edition sets of action figures. This is from probably early 90s. This is all the original X-Men, like
that's awesome.
Even when Beast was before he was, and they're pretty articulate figures from what you can see.
Yeah.
Dude, shit.
And then this is when they switched to the giant size X-Men. And everybody they switched it up, gave them the fresh looks and some of the newer characters. Still some of the old guys in there too.
That's sick. That's sick. Holy shit.
How you feeling?
Marvel guys are another one. I have so many Marvel figures too. I have a lot of the big giant ones. Cables I have some Cable figures that are pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I just got a giant pile of crap here. I don't even know what to show you all next. Well, I was going to give you a tour. My kids have friends over tonight, so I'm actually just kind of stuck in my bedroom as they have a sleepover. But if we get to do this again, or even just my off time, I'll give you a tour, like my living room area where I've got like all kinds of stuff like actually displayed and kind of set out. So I got so much crap in there. This is literally the stuff I almost all had in boxes. Yeah. I'll send you some pictures or a little video tour or something you can throw up there.
Yeah.
Edit it in somehow and get it on there.
It'll be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got all kinds of cool stuff out there. Star Trek glasses. I brought a couple of those in. These Taco Bell glasses from the third movie are some cool pieces.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool rings on them.
Dude, I haven't
Early
seen
Taco Bell.
Decades.
That's from the third movie.
I think my uncle had those because he loves those movies.
Yeah.
I have I don't know. My wife would probably say I'm always a hoarder status, but I don't think I am. But I just find something and I just like, oh wow, I want more of that. Like I have so many of those glasses, like Snoopy glasses, the old jelly jars, the Flintstone glasses, anything you could get at restaurants and all that stuff from so many of them. I just find random stuff that I just enjoy, man. And like I said, I don't like go out to seek everything. I just like unique pieces for my own collection. I'm never out to collect them all or get everything that everyone else has. I just like the unique stuff, the kind of talking pieces.
That's how I am. I just like finding unique things that I know I like. I don't like collect big collections. I just like what I like, and I grab what I like.
Exactly. And I'm cool just having the got like one Dick Tracy action figure. I'm cool always just having that one Dick Tracy action figure. I've got no interest in finding the rest of the line or anything else. I've got the bad guy from Karate Kid 2. Never gonna look for the rest of the Karate Kid 2 action figures, but he's cool just sitting on the shelf there. Dodo, I think his name was. Yeah, he's cool just sitting there on the shelf.
Man. But yeah, you got an insane collection for sure.
Yeah, you do.
Can't wait to see what else you got.
One day when I bought this house, I only had one kid and 3 bedrooms was plenty, and one room was for all my shit. Now I have 3 kids and no room for all my shit, and they sit in boxes in a closet. So one day I'll get another big room going again when I sell this place and buy another one to just like properly display all my stuff, man.
Yep.
We could go on for days about. We could do a whole episode on video game collections. We could do talk for years about that stuff.
Yep.
I have just about every video game system. I've still got Odyssey 2s in boxes. I've got Ataris in boxes. I've got everything up until, Xbox now. I mean, I've got a good chunk of stuff that I put a lot of. Me and my buddy John, man, we'd be up at 5 a.m. on Saturdays, just scouring flea markets, yard sales, like searching newspapers, circling yard sales, like, oh, we're going here, we're going here. I mean, we'd be up before the sun was even up, like trying to beat everyone else to find the cool stuff. Used to have a lot more time on my hands, but now if I'm off, I'm not up at 5 a.m. on a Saturday. I promise you that, unless I'm still up. That's
ain't no 5 o'clock Saturdays for me either.
I get up about 4 o'clock, 4:30 the rest of the week if I could sleep in on Saturdays. Well, I typically work Saturdays, but if I'm off, I'm definitely not getting up the same
No. So why don't we go ahead and take another quick break? I got one more trivia question, and then when we come back, we'll talk about some punk rock. Tends to be our little get a little origin story in. What got you in and all
Sounds
that.
Good.
But the question I have, what Saved by the Bell star served as a tag team partner of a pro wrestler named the Blue Meanie?
That'd be Dustin Diamond. It's great.
Very well done. Celebrity wrestling.
Awesome.
Hot minute.
I was all prepped for a video game question too. I'm surprised I got that one.
I was going through all my cards here and I couldn't find one. I'll have to dig through some other ones down the road. But yeah, we'll be right back.
Well, surf's up, dude! Whoa!
Join the Turtles on Foot Patrol in their battle-ready sewer tubes, featuring wacky pizza slice and oars, depth charge, and rotating foot blasters.
Let me show you my new toy.
It's the Foot Ski, with its deadly harpoon gun, shredding torpedoes, and electric leeches. Could this be the end of good, clean fun in the sewer?
Here goes the neighborhood! Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles!
From Playmates!
Supernatural! Now you can join the battle between brave Lionheart and evil Skull and their eerie ghostlings.
Lion, you're dying. Now, Master.
They change to fight with ghostly might. Turn them into the light, and they change into even more powerful creatures.
Now, the lion in me is free. Take this.
Supernaturals. Lionheart, Skull, and Ghostling sold separately. New from Tonka.
All right. We're back.
Syrup sweats.
Syrup. Oh, man. We make bad decisions here.
Yeah.
We're not the brightest bulbs in the box.
Oh.
So we're called the Punk Rock Geek then. So let's talk about some punk rock. I know for me, Craig, it was Dookie by Green Day.
Yep.
Like that was what hooked us into the genre and introduced us to it. What was it for you, Derek?
So when I was, let's see, how old was that? Maybe like 14-ish. It was definitely a Dropkick Murphys Do or Die. My cousin, I had a couple cousins, older cousins, and they were into that. And they were into, it was that, probably Anti-Flag at the time. Not a big fan of Anti-Flag now with the early stuff. I can't remember the name of the album. I know it if I
Die for Your Government.
saw it, but yeah, exactly. So it was that. It was Dropkick Murphys for sure, and it kind of went from there. I definitely listened to Green Day a lot with some of my buddies, but they were never. And there's a lot. I mean, I know all Dookie by heart for sure. 125% could sing every song on there.
Yeah.
But that was never big into my punk rock phase. That was just kind of because everyone was listening to it. I think at that point, so I didn't really consider that part of like my induction into punk rock. But definitely Dropkick Murphys and Anti-Flag and Rancid around that time. A lot of stuff like that. And then it went into kind of some more, a lot of underground local bands. Where I'm from in Cumberland, Maryland, there was like a pretty big local scene. Just young kids playing music like we still, I mean, not as big now, but like you still have in cities everywhere now, just kind of going to live shows.
Yeah.
That was kind of my thing. And then that was my introduction to the music. I'd say it wasn't until I left home, probably about 16, and moved to West Virginia and met some like crust punks. I mean, like the dirtiest of the gutter punks you could ever find, and those became like some of my lifelong buddies. Like they were people that never listened to Green Day, never listened to anything. That was all like Crass and Fear and the deeper cuts, Subhumans and Bombs and the old UK stuff. That's when I like really delved deep into a dark hole that I loved and never came back from. Like that was definitely my
I would say the same.
As well as the music.
Yeah, Green Day was my introduction, but not my dark hole. Now, Punkorama Volume 1 was my dark hole into punk rock. Like that's what really Green Day brought me to that, which brought me to where I am today.
Like necessarily, it was maybe necessarily not the right word. I'm syrup drunk and all kinds of stuff right now. So, but
syrup sweats.
So yeah, like I said, Green Day was the introduction, but yeah, it wasn't the dark hole like you guys are saying. Metallica actually opened that door for me with their cover of Die Die My Darling and Last Caress. And that's when I started looking into like the Misfits, and that's how I found Bad Religion and all those other old bands from back in the day, Dead Kennedys, stuff like that. And I just went from there and never looked back.
Yeah.
And I've had several friends along the way point me in the direction of like the crust punk bands and stuff like that too. But it's all music. I don't need to.
I definitely I don't put. There's not one subgenre. I like a lot of oi. Probably was identified as a skinhead more than a punk rocker in most of my days. Hang out with a bunch of sharps in West Virginia, and grew up in the whole one I grew up in. But in my teen years, in the big anti-racist movement of sharps and all that, and West Virginia is a pretty crappy place when it comes to racism. Everything's getting better, like everything else, but that's like where I really delved into oi music, which like Dropkick Murphys was kind of oi with Do or Die. Didn't really stay after that, but like Whiskey Rebels and UK Subs and any of those like Captain Oi records, like anything on Captain Oi records, I was all about finding and listening to. Then any of the like the Boston Punk, the Dickies, the Bruisers, Ducky Boys, all that stuff I was really into, and I could listen to still most of those albums end to end without skipping a song to this day. Like that's one of my favorite genres.
Oh yeah, for sure. It definitely hooks you in a way that the others don't.
There was a very big energy to oi music. Like it was just it was not necessarily all happy, but it was wasn't like as maybe downtrodden is the word I'm looking for.
It's more
not as like Misfits weren't necessarily happy music, if you know what I mean. And neither was oi, but it just felt more upbeat and energetic. And like the pit scene even was like a little more just upbeat and energetic. You know what I mean? Like but with a purpose. It also had a political driven purpose behind almost all of it. Like the Partisans, that was another one of my favorites back then. Just really politically motivated, driven music that kind of got you up. Felt you motivated to do something, get involved type of stuff. That was what
Yeah, like the Oppressed and Oi Polloi and all those, like. Yep.
I mean,
Actually,
nowadays,
I got into all that stuff from like Punk and Disorderly. Remember that old comp? They had like 3 volumes. Yeah, that's where I found all that stuff.
Give 'Em the Boot had some cool stuff. I like Hellcat Records. They had a lot of cool stuff. The Give 'Em the Boot compilations were cool, man. The UK Subs on there. Roger Ramirez, The Disasters. A lot of cool stuff on there, too. Compilations were the best, though, man. How many of us really didn't cut our teeth on compilations?
Yeah, really. I had this one. It was called like
There's like nothing comparable to it this day. Skins and Pins Volume 1 and 2. I had Skins and Pins 1 and 2.
They were like $5, dude. Not even. They were like $3.99, I think. For, like,
they were all double disc. They had like 45 songs on them.
Yeah.
Crazy. I remember one of the first, like we're talking about comps. Only like the Punkoramas and stuff like that didn't really. I kind of missed that, that part of the scene. By that point, all those bands were kind of big and like everybody knew who they were, and that's how I got into them. But one comp that introduced me to a lot of bands, like the Queers and stuff like that, was Short Music for Short People from Fat Records.
Yeah.
The little pizza box.
I remember that one.
Yep.
I don't know what it is, but I love 30-second songs with a lot of energy. and songs that are just dumb.
Yeah.
And
That's why I like the Ramones.
Yeah, exactly.
I was big into like the Hopelessly Devoted to You comps too. Though those were, I think those were more fun than Punkoramas, to be honest, because like they mixed it more. You know, you had more stuff going on with Hopeless Records at the time. They had the queers, they had everybody.
Definitely the ones we were just talking about were the biggest ones, because they had the biggest push. Like, you know, they had the biggest label at the time. And there wasn't a big label, it wasn't a major label, but they still had the most. But there was.
They were like the leading.
I'm trying to think of what the record label was. There was a compilation called Honest Don's Greatest Shits.
Oh,
like the picture with the clown like shitting into a cereal bowl was literally the cover. That was a good one. I can't even remember what record label that was now.
Man, I don't remember what that had the Gimme Gimmes, and that had like Limp on it and everything, and
I'm
that
about
18
to find
Again
out
song.
About to find out what record label it was.
Yes. R&D on.
I don't think it was. No, it wasn't Go Kart or anything.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, that was Fat Records too.
Was it Fat Records?
I guess everything.
Well, yeah,
was just
Gimme
Fat
Gimmes.
Records.
Yeah,
I guess everything was just Fat Records. But compilations were cool because they were $4.99 to $9.99. You weren't paying like the full $20 CD price for a brand new CD.
Yeah.
They usually had more songs on them than a regular CD. Like you weren't limited to 11 or 12. They usually pushed the majority amount of tracks they could, or it'd be a double disc.
And you were getting
you
the best of each
hear
band.
music. Before Spotify, that's how you got new music.
Yeah. Yeah, because like they were picking like the best of the best for each compilation. Like, okay, what song do you want on there that's really gonna make you pop? And comps were definite like music finds for me. I wouldn't be half of involved in this scene if it wasn't for comps, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely wouldn't know half the bands I know of if it wasn't.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, like I was saying, like I missed the comp train, but like I was making my own. You know what I mean? Like that was in the LimeWire days, so I was just finding songs and making CDs.
Yeah, eventually we all just started making our own compilations, honestly.
Yeah, then you shared those with other people,
Yeah, that's exactly it. I would mix CDs and like, songs that I loved, and like I would make a couple copies of them and be like, hey man, I made this the other day. Here, why don't you give it a listen? Let me know what you think of the stuff on there, because it's good shit.
Yep.
You know, and that's how we introduced each other to bands around here, you know, because you had to drive 45 minutes either direction to get to a record store.
Yep.
So it's not like you could just.
I feel like I probably discover less. I listen to more music than ever now, but I probably discover like less new bands all the time because I'm not listening to compilations are out there. Like Spotify might recommend me some stuff, but half the time it's trash. Like like it's nothing I would even consider punk rock or enjoy listening to. I'm like, really,
you just don't care
because you're a fan of.
Yeah.
You've already got your stuff, and you're like,
I'll have bands that I haven't even heard. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. All I was going to say is you're listening to something you like already, so their recommendations are irrelevant.
Yeah.
Where with the compilation, you see the name of the band on it, you're like, well, if this compilation sounds like that band, then everybody else probably is going to have the same feel. Maybe not the same sound, and they're not a ripoff, but it'll take you down the same path. Yeah. And you skip so many fewer songs.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part about them.
Yeah, for sure. But like,
you knew there was some sort of something you were going to enjoy in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the comps that I was buying really, like when I was like 15, 16, like the hardcore scene got really big around here. And when I say the hardcore scene, I mean like the, you know, power chord, chug hardcore music. Not
like Victory Records.
Type stuff. Yeah, like Victory Records. And Alternative Press started doing their compilation CDs, and that's how I got introduced to a lot of hardcore bands, like Bleeding Through, Nora, and stuff like that. And so it's kind of the same thing. Like if it wasn't for those AP compilations, I wouldn't be into, you know, Bleeding Through and bands like that, Give Up the Ghost, bands like that.
Yeah.
Because it was because of those compilations that I was introduced to them, like you guys were saying with the Punkoramas and everything, introducing you to Rancid, Dropkick Murphys, shit like that.
Yeah, because it was still a different time. Like, it was fading out, but like you were still getting pretty good comps out there, you know.
Yeah, for sure. but it's just like that was just me though. Like I was into everything, so I was looking for everything. I didn't really care if it was punk, metal, whatever. As long as it was rock and roll, I was into it.
Yeah.
It just had to be
aggressive. Yeah, comp started to change. Even punk, like the punk and drum ones, like comp started to change to me when they started, and I love hip hop. Like I'm a big fan of all kinds of hip hop. But when they started, like half the comp would be, or like a third of the comp would be like random hip hop bands. Like that's kind of when I lost interest in them. Not that I don't like hip hop, but I don't buy a punk compilation to hear hip hop. Like I've already got that down.
Yeah.
And it would just be something that like I lost a lot of interest at that point in like buying compilations when the music got convoluted. You bought it to find like-minded bands of the band you already liked that was on there. Yeah. Like Matt was saying earlier, not because you wanted to hear a whole other genre.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, once fusion started happening, it was I don't know. I lost interest in I kind of lost interest in everything altogether once that happened. And then like, I just stuck to the old stuff and that was my style after that. You know what I mean? Like, sure, I knew new bands, but they're few and far between still to this day because I just like old stuff. I don't know.
Exactly. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
you like what you like, man.
There's still a shit ton of good bands out there. I guarantee it. I find them all the time, but I'd rather be listening to stuff I enjoy.
I started listening to the Carmines, which I guess they only got that one album.
Yeah, the Carmines are awesome.
But they only have the one album, I guess.
Yep.
And that, to me, I really liked that song when I heard it on your popsicle top 10 there. They were kind of like just a little bit poppier Ramones and a little bit not as fast. But I really liked them, man. They were kind of short, simple songs. They had like the same sock hop type vibe as like the Ramones would sing about. I've been bumping them a lot since I heard them on there.
Yep.
Well, even if you like old music, like there's still so many undiscovered bands with like one or two albums out there from even that era of 80s, 90s, early 2000s that are still out there to find and listen to. Like they're all over.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, the floodgates in music discovery have really opened with Spotify and stuff because you can put your music out to anybody, and if they have an account, all you got to do is just upload your music. And that's it.
Yeah. Yep. And just hope they punch your name in one day.
Yeah. Or it shows up on related music or something like that.
Like
which is kind of the way they say it destroys music, but I think it doesn't make it much difference from what you'd be selling on a single to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, and the idea of it is a lot of people are just touring more because of it and enjoying music a lot more because they're touring a lot more instead of constantly in the studio and worrying about numbers,
Yeah. And I have a problem when people like start to hate, or even when bands that had signed up for Spotify, they're like, "Oh, please buy the record instead of listening to us on Spotify." Then why'd you put your music on Spotify in the first place?
Sure.
Like, I'm sorry, I lose the point. You didn't have to. And I mean, we've all been going to punk shows for a long time. They're not making money off that CD they're selling. They're making money off that $25 T-shirt you just bought because you like the CD that you bought. Like that's where the real money is, anyways. Is in merchant and the record deal. They got nothing to do with the CD or tape or record they're selling.
Unless they're 100% like self-produced, all that shit. They're not making any money off this CD. But even then, they're probably not.
Yeah, but even then, you're looking at the money they have in the equipment and the recording.
Yeah, and the artwork
and everything else.
Yeah.
So the cost is still there. It's just when they're in. So it might look like more money's going back to them, but they're all just putting it out in expenditures they paid out.
But it's way cheaper. It's way cheaper to produce a T-shirt than it is to produce an album.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what you put the markup on. I guess the $20 T-shirt that you pay $3.
Yep.
That's or less.
That's exactly right.
Or less.
Yeah, some people do like 50 T-shirts, $50. Print your style, and that's it. That's how it's going.
Especially if I go to a live show, like I'm a merchandise nut. I'm buying a T-shirt. I'm buying always patches and pins. I have drawers and drawers of patches.
Yeah,
and pins.
I'm much more of a merch guy.
But I'm buying a T-shirt. I'm buying your pins. I'm buying your patches. I might buy a hoodie. I'm buying something. I might buy a record, even though I don't have a record player anymore. I'm getting you some merch because that's how I like to show support. And that's like I said, I know that's where they make their money anyways.
Yeah. And you're buying not only their music, you're buying their art too. Like somebody had to design that shirt. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
hey,
Definitely goes a longer way. I'm definitely not a Spotify hater. I wouldn't. Plus, I just love having everything in my pocket at one time without having to go anywhere else.
And you save your space for the stuff that you want to show off.
Yeah.
Like T-shirts or any of the cool shit that they have that, I mean, you don't
I do love
don't sew patches onto everything. You can put that on, up in your rooms and shit.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do love my record collection though. I do enjoy a good hard copy every once in a while. Like a good 75% of the songs I have on Spotify, I have the album, physical copy of it. So it's not like I'm completely stiffing my bands. I still support my bands 100% as much as I possibly can.
I owned a lot of them on CD at one time.
Yeah. Yeah. In all honesty, I think I'm spending more on band stuff now than I ever would buying just CDs and stuff. Like even merch wise, spending a lot more these days. You know what I mean? Like that's how I'm supporting them.
Well, plus you're not spending, $13 to $20 on a CD every time it comes out. So you are
exactly
spending more money on stuff you're actually going to, like you said, the merch or the stuff you want to display or show off or show support for the band. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone might see your T-shirt and be like, "Oh, who's that?" You know what I mean? As opposed to no one seeing that CD that's sitting there on your shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't got to spend the $13. You can just hit a button that says download and you got it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like if you got an account, you're all set. You can listen to the CD whenever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Definitely a different world altogether, though, man.
Yeah, but people get Spotify shit, and it's like, well, then buy the band's T-shirts.
Yeah.
If you're worried about them,
and buy them from their website.
Yeah,
buy them from their website. Don't go to Amazon. Like if I'm buying something like they got a really cool website with all kinds of merch. But I'm going to their website, I'm buying it. I'm not going to Amazon and buying, Rancid.
Yeah.
Someone losing their money somewhere along the lines and down the pipeline. Go buy it from the band at the band's website, or at least the record label's website if you can't find theirs. Some bands don't have yet, but that's the way to do it to make sure they're getting the max amount of money as well. Cut out the middlemen.
Yep.
Sure. And that way you're showing them their support. You're listening to their music. And they're getting paid for putting that music out there for you to listen to.
Yeah.
Right.
But even though you're not paying for the music.
In the end, we all want the same thing. We want them to keep making music. We want to hear more good music.
Exactly.
No one's listening to Spotify like, man, I really hope this band stops playing music. That's why I'm listening to them on Spotify.
But if you want to keep those bands on Spotify, buy their shirts. Buy the T-shirts, people. Buy the T-shirts. Buy a hat, buy a hoodie, buy socks, anything.
Can't say I have any band socks.
I would buy them if they existed. For sure.
I used to have Descendants Vans, if that counts.
That's close to socks. You wear them over socks.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of designs for Chuck Taylors too.
Yeah.
Bands, and you got Descendants, you got Misfits. Fucking Bad Religion has a pair.
Yeah, I think in 2004, I think everybody I knew had a pair of those Misfits Converse.
Yeah. Converse still does some. Vans still does some too. You still see all kinds of random bands.
Yep.
Even Adidas once in a while will roll out some cool band shoes, man.
Yep.
But they're much limited release. Like you're not going to find them in stores. You really got to be watching for it. Like when
they're going to release like
really
500 pairs, 500 people waiting for months. You know what I mean? Like because Nike does a lot of cool releases, like actual cool releases, but they're only making like 20 pair.
Yeah. And that's why they're so expensive.
Yep.
And it's just like, okay, yeah, they're cool, but I'm not buying them.
Yeah.
Nope, not for that much money. Not for something I'm going to wear and they're going to get torn up just as much as any other shoe.
Exactly.
Like, why the hell? I wear my shoes to work. Like, I don't have a special pair of work shoes. I wear my Chuck Taylors, and they're going to get destroyed in the kitchen. So
besides, we're dads. We should wear a New Balance.
Nah.
Well, I can't say that I own a pair of those yet. But,
can't say I own a pair of those either. I used to. But
Me too. I don't anymore, but I did. They were a good running shoe.
Yeah.
Well,
they were a good
for running. That's a little different.
They're a good lawn mowing shoe. They're good. The white, you got to get the white New Balances for the lawn mowing.
And I'm a collector of many things, but I don't understand sneakerheads that get sneakers and don't wear them. And they don't even like display them typically. They just sit in a box. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not.
I have 2 pairs of shoes.
Each to their own. I got a lot of buddies that do that, but
I have 2 pairs of shoes. I have 2 pair of shoes at any given time. One's a pair of Converse All Stars, high tops. The other one's a pair of flip flops.
Yep.
Because as soon as I get home,
more than that, because I've got
my shocks and shoes come off, the flip flops go on.
Yeah.
I've probably got still like
step in.
half a dozen pair of Doc Martens that are like 20 years old that still fit and still work well, that I don't have to throw out for some reason.
I think the last time I had a pair of shoes
lasted forever. Well, the old ones lasted forever.
Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah, I've still got some quality leather Docs from the English made ones from like 15 years ago.
Yeah, I've still got some of the red leather
perfectly
Docs.
fine.
I still got a pair of them.
Yeah. I never had the red leather. I always wanted a cherry pair.
Yep, the cherry. Yep.
Nothing stopped me from buying one now. I just don't ever think about it. But all
Yeah.
mine were just black, and I have some brown ones that were not like the punk style of Doc Martens, but like a more bootish type.
Yeah.
Like actual kind of workish boot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, dudes.
Yeah. It's been fun. You guys got to go sleep off your syrup now.
Yeah, man. I got some syrup to work through your system there, boys. Syrup sweats. I want to know what your bed sheets smell like in the morning.
No self-respect and all regret.
Oh, we're gonna get in the morning. In the messages is a picture of a pancake in a bed with his wife. Like, what did you do? What did you do to my husband?
I don't think she'll mind that much.
He did it to himself.
Told him to stop, and he just said no.
We did, dude. We were like, dude, stop! Like, you're gonna die.
Violated by Aunt Jemima.
She's so cruel.
Oh,
it's not right.
Derek, thanks for showing off your collection, buddy.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, my pleasure, guys.
You brought us our first video game conversation, like in depth.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a fun convo, man. That first hour there was a good talk.
Yeah.
All right, guys. 4:30's coming early, so I'm gonna hop off here, but I'm gonna catch up with you all soon. I can't wait to finish this.
All right, buddy. Have a good night.
Take care of yourself.
Thanks, man.
No.
No, we didn't leave.
All right. Well,
But
this is the Geek then.
Yeah, that was our buddy Derek. He's a good dude. We'll have him back.
Awesome.
We're gonna go sleep off this syrup.
Or something. Yeah. Holy fuck.
Get some casserole.
I'm not eating food. Fuck off.
All right,
I can't even drink.
Want some more sugar?
Fuck you too.
Fuck you. Get that away from me. No. Oof. Oh, you want more of this, Matt?
No.
No. Until next time.
Later, folks.
Fuck you, man.
The seasonings can't be beat.
The perfect blend of seasonings gives Rice-A-Roni its one-of-a-kind taste.
As a side dish, watch it steal the show with flavor that will please them so. Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat.
Attention! Your gym teacher escaped from charm school, irons his underwear, watches hygiene films. He says, anyone chewing bubble tape owes me 50 push-ups. The lunch lady wears a hairnet, serves mashed potatoes with an ice cream scoop, puts gravy on everything. She says,
bubble tape is not part of a well-balanced diet.
bubble tape. It's 6 feet of bubble gum for you, not them.